All right, it is 7 o'clock. We're actually 1 minute over. Welcome back to another Monday Night Live with me and Danny. We truly appreciate that you guys are joining us wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining us. That's really, really cool. And as always, we like to start the show off with new gear. Like, what piece of new gear you guys got this week? Let us know in the chat. Danny, what new piece of gear you got last week?
I probably should have got it out for me. It's actually on my Office 6500 right now. But if you've seen let me see if I can pull it out. Oh God, here we go. Here it is. Here it is. It's right here. It's right here. It's this iCup or viewfinder piece you put on your EVF, or the viewfinder, and it was recommended by, I forgot the guy's name, but I picked it up on eBay, and I've used it during my shooting vlogs, and it's been amazing. Because I've always had trouble putting it because of sunlight getting into my shots, especially out when it's bright, and just it cups over your eye really well, and I don't have any issues. So it really comes in handy. And
so that's supposed to enhance the way you look into your viewfinder.
It does, since it presses up to your eye. It actually even helps you. It helps you kind of shoot in video better too. It actually gives you better support, because when you don't have this EVF, this thing, and you put it up to your eye, you're literally just sticking it to the ridge of your eye, which is what I do. But this cups around your whole eye, so it creates another contact point. Right?
Okay.
So it makes it easier for you to shoot video as well and take pictures. It's easier to see. So overall, right now, so far, it's good. I'm enjoying it. And
I
then also
saw Philip Bloom have it on a few of his cameras, so I'm actually interested in picking it up.
Yeah, I think it'll come in handy if you shoot with your viewfinder a lot.
How much is it again?
Whew, I think you can hack one up for probably like $30.
Oh,
40 plus bucks, and it is pricey, but I think Dave Dugdale has a video where you can buy like one version of it and modify it yourself if you want to do it. I didn't want to deal with it. I just wanted to go ahead and try it out, so I went and bought it. So it is pricey.
On Amazon?
It's on eBay. The seller's on eBay.
All right.
And then I finally, if you didn't catch on our last live stream, I was kind of disappointed with Sony Pro support. I was requesting a 24-70 G Master or /85 G Master, and they completely ignored my email, never got back to me. So I did a new request for just the 24-70 G Master. They got back to me finally, really quick, and they don't have any. They don't have any for loan, basically. And they said there's events coming up, and so they don't have anything available till the end of the month. So that kind of frustrated me. They said, how about the 24-70 f4? And I said, you know what? Why the hell not? If that's what you got available, I'll take it, because I don't have that lens and I've never used it. So that's the situation right now. It's looking. We'll see. We'll see how Pro support plays out.
In their defense, they just had the A9 event. They have to loan it out to the press, and they have to. I don't know. Maybe.
And the thing we talked about earlier, and the only thing that I'm worried about personally, is that what if my 24-70 G Master broke and I needed another copy, and I contacted Pro support and they said, oh, all our 24-70s are on loan right now at an event. So what happens to me? So that's the only little thing, and I'm hoping they can, that's not the actual problem. So we'll see what happens. So
it's definitely a hope not. But again, there's news that they're opening up more facilities across the nation. So let's just hope more supplies can meet the demands, like for people like Danny, obviously.
You're so kind, Jason. You're so kind.
Of course. I mean, I had a good experience. I'm sorry, Danny, that you didn't have a good experience.
He opened up Pandora's box, man.
And I wonder how many people actually signed up for Sony Pro support after I just just publicly announced, you can do pre-evaluation loaners.
Yeah,
that's funny stuff. All right, so I actually didn't have any new gears, but I literally just bought something on Amazon, which is the Sigma MC11 adapter. If you guys don't know, there's a price drop. Not really a price drop. Either it's on sale or there's a price drop. But on Amazon, on B&H right now, you can get an MC11 adapter for $149, which is $100 off. I know I'm selling this really well right now. So if you're looking to pick up a Sigma MC11 adapter for your Canon EF lenses, or for a small percentage out there, the SA lenses, you can actually get it now for $149. The link's in the description box below. We'd love it if you can support me and Danny by buying it from Amazon. If not, get it from B&H, Adorama. They're all running a deal right now. So I think they're also running some pretty cool deals on lenses too. So if you guys need to pick up some Sigma lenses, totally go for it.
Yep. Help Jason out. Use his affiliate links.
Yeah. Use the affiliate links. Helps out. All right. Let's jump into the chat really quick and see what new piece of tech you guys just added to your arsenal. JW Studio says he got the 50mm 1.8. Awesome.
Nice.
Is that I'm assuming that's going to be the Sony, I think. WRGO TV says got a GH5. How are you liking that, man?
Nice.
Are you the AF people, or are you the manual focus people? Which side are you? Let us know how that's been working out for you. Let's see here. Wayne Freeman says that is 25. Holy crap!
Ooh.
Great lens. I actually got a chance to play with the 135, the new one. It's a killer lens, man.
For two G's, I don't know, man.
It's expensive. Hey, did you go on Sony Alpha Rumors today or yesterday? They had a poll. They're like, who would buy this lens and who would not buy this lens? I think like 50. Like it was, when I saw it this morning, it was like half and half. Like one person, like half of the people would buy the lens, and the other half would not buy the lens. It was pretty crazy.
I said no. I don't care if they drop the price. I said no.
Wow. Pretty cool lens though. I like it a lot. It's really skinny. It's really light. But yeah, that $2,000 is it's a little steep.
You already have this. You and I have the 70-200 Master. It's it's a tough sell for what we have already. Let's just put it that way.
Portability, Danny. Portability, man.
You don't need no portability. Just take that G Master.
Sully, I got the Zhiyun Crane version 2. Good job. They actually updated the control on the Crane, so it's a lot better. I have the older version, so I don't really like it. I had to play with the new one, and also the version 2 has a new payload. There's the new weight limit now, so you can actually mount heavier setups. And they actually mounted the Canon 5D Mark IV with a 24-70, which was pretty crazy.
Yep.
So good stuff. Dan, you should get one, man.
Man, I gotta sell the other one I have. I have one I don't even use.
Well, you have the Beholder, right?
Yeah, I have that darn Beholder.
If you get the Zhiyun, you're just gonna be like, "What have I been using?" Man, I was playing with the Beholder at NAB, and I was like, "How do they get away with this fat grip?"
The thing is that I don't use that kind of device very often enough that I warrant the need for it. I feel like, well, we're gonna talk about it later anyway. So
okay, true.
Get to that.
We'll talk more about it in a bit. Jason Boland got the new Feiyu Tech V2 Gimbo, and it's a beast. Wow, a lot of people picking up the stabilizer. Baba Lee finally got the 18-105. Awesome. Good
nice. I got a video coming up a little later on that. So
awesome. Afan1, Sigma 30mm 1.4. Let's see here. Okay, WRGO says he not only did he pick the GH5, but he also got a Speed Booster Ultra. Ooh, that's a beast. Let's see here. David Johnson picked up the 135mm Art Lens 1.8. That's a hulk of a lens.
I really want that lens, David. I'm jealous of you.
Yeah, I was surprised. You don't have it?
Man, after the A9, man, my bank account's hurting a little, so I'm just going to wait. Maybe we can finally bug. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Awesome. Let's see here.
Sully Cortez just mentioned the actual guy, Chris Engel. Yes, it is. The
Chris
guy's
Angel?
name is Chris Angel. Chris Engel. Yeah, it's the Chris Engel I Cup. Yeah, that's where I got it from.
Chris Engel I Cup.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. I'll probably pick one up. Looks cool. Let's see here. Awesome. There we go. Someone actually put the post. Okay, math fans like Jason. The poll for the 135mm 2.8 is 6%. would buy, 45% would buy if it's $500 less, and 49 would not buy. Okay, there we go. I think I voted for buy if it's $500 less.
Nope.
It's probably gonna come on. It's probably gonna be on B&H used section in about a couple months after the release. So I'm gonna stock it. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna be that one guy with the 135 Zeiss.
Don't do it, Jason. Don't do it. Just save it up for the A9S. It's coming out soon.
That's
you
true.
You want the good stuff, man. Just wait.
I gotta be different, dude. I gotta be.
I'll get the A9. You get the A9S. I think that'll be good, man.
All right, that's not gonna work. All right, let's see here. Arnold says got the 85 1.8, and I love it. Awesome. I'm glad yours came in because a lot of people are still stuck on a pre-order.
Are you serious? Oh wow.
Yeah, that's a hot lens, man.
Man, I gotta sell my bodice, man. Shoot, I'm just gonna keep the 85 1.8.
Seriously, man. I want to sell my G Master, but I can't do it.
It's just do it, man. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Last comment for the new gear is Joseph Tabalon got the Flashpoint Explorer 600 and the 38-inch Parapop. Very nice. Very nice. You're going to have some fun with that. Great portrait combo. All right, guys. I also see that we have some questions for us. We're going to be doing a live Q&A in about maybe 20 minutes. So hang on tight. We're going to go over some news first. And then we're going to jump into the questions. So hang on to those questions tight, all right? And then we're going to come back to them and repost later with a question mark so Danny and I can find your questions later. Let's go ahead and move on to the news. Danny, are you tired of talking about the A9?
No, I'll never be tired of talking about the A9.
A9 is still such a hot topic right now. So Danny and I want to discuss some of the new stuff that we've learned from other YouTubers who've been putting out their videos. And a funny thing, I met Max at NAB, just coincidentally, just saw him walking around. I was like, dude, we had a chat, and he said pretty much like last Thursday was the official day that any of the press could post any sort of video footage or photos from the A9 camera. So yeah, just thought that was interesting to share.
I thought you had some secret stuff, man. What's going on?
No secret stuff. I just thought that was very interesting to share. Because he was just like, yeah, I have a video just waiting to get released tomorrow. Well, I was talking to him like on Tuesday. Yeah, he was just like, oh, I can only release my video on Thursday, but you're gonna see some amazing stuff, man. I was like, oh, I can't wait. So if you guys watch Max Zeroth video, I learned so much from that video. I think it's one of the best A9 reviews that I've watched all day today. Speaking
of Max, I feel like I've been saying his name wrong. For whatever reason, it was just like the Bernstein Bears controversy with the Berenstein. For whatever reason, I thought it was Yurev, but it was Yuryev. And I was like, man, I am so ignorant, man.
You're telling me I'm butchering someone else's name now?
I have no idea. It's your Yurev. For whatever reason, I thought it was Yurev for the longest time. And
you mean like spelling it wise or like
yeah. On his YouTube channel, it's Yurev for his last name.
Yurev. Yeah, okay, good. I got it right. Yeah, I was trying to like punch in his name and I always spell it wrong. But all right. The Max Zeroth debate. Gotta get him on the show and be like, how do you really pronounce your name? How do you spell it?
That'd be just one video. How do you pronounce it? Max.
So last week, you guys asked me to question some of the people there regarding rolling shutter and the supposedly removed Play Memories app. So I mentioned it in my NAB vlog video, but I'll go ahead and bring it up in the live chat just in case somebody missed it. So I did talk to the Sony rep, and they did say they removed the Play Memories app. Well, he didn't really say they purposely removed it, but he's saying, yeah, it's not there. It's because they believe that it's not something that the pros need. So that's why they dropped it. So, which is weird. But I also asked them, I was like, hey, so if with the removal of the Play Memories app, does that mean we can't transfer our photos to our phone anymore? And he's like, that's not the case. You can still totally transfer the photos from the camera to your phone with the Play Memories app on your phone. So we're good there. But he didn't really comment on whether or not we can still use like the smooth reflection apps or the time lapse app. He did say he's listening to all the press, all the people that's been asking about the time lapse. But I think for the most part, since pros, I'm guessing he was implying pros don't really need to use the smooth reflection app, that they might not. Yeah. He's just saying Play Memories app is not a pro thing. But what do you guys think? Danny, are you a pro? How do you feel about the removal of the Play Memories app?
I don't even know if I would consider myself a pro, but I mentioned before, I don't really use the Play Memories app too much. I've actually considered to use the time lapse. I think I'm going to install it onto the camera soon. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that the only reason why I have the Play Memories app is to hack the camera. I mean, I'm sorry, but I just use it for the unlimited time hack to get the extended time recording on the camera. And I like I say, I personally think that was the reason behind it. They didn't want people to circumvent around the camera and enable other features that they didn't want happening with this the A9. That's my logic behind it, my reasoning behind it. This whole thing with the pros not wanting it, I get that, but it's kind of a stretch considering Sony's current track record of just giving you everything. So that's just
I think you briefly talked about in your video that this is probably not a good thing because they're busting a cannon on you. Like now they're starting to like purposely omit something because they want you to focus on getting the other thing that's more for that one thing and not getting this one thing that could have this one thing. If that makes sense. It's
like you're saying that, the camera operator can't just take a check mark and completely hide it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just like a check mark. Can we just hide it completely? Or it's like, the touchscreen interface, can't you disable it, enable it? It's just kind of a wishy-washy thing on Sony's part. That's how I would stick with it.
Yeah. Let's see what the people in the chat have to say. So let's take a quick break into the chat and see what you guys have to say about it.
I think Zoom Chris is heading out. Zoom Chris,
you're leaving us so early nowadays, man. I'm bummed. What you got going on that's more important than me and Danny? I'm just messing. Have a good day, man. Thanks for stopping by. David Osler's in the house. What's going on, David?
What's going on, David?
I am the Brown. All right, let's see here. Man Fan 1, they couldn't have removed the Play Memories app from the A9. Never in the A9. I've been seeing that so much around. They're like, they can't really remove S-Lock if it was never there to begin with. Well, we're just saying it's removed because I know you're yanking our foot, but for the rest of you out there, we're saying it's removed because we're just so spoiled as Sony shooters. Longtime Sony shooters, we've been so spoiled having Play Memories in all the cameras and S-Log as well. They even have S-Log on the RX 105, and that's not even necessary, but they put it in anyways. And so we're just very spoiled by Sony, getting all that stuff, and we take it for granted. And when they removed it, it's like, oh shoot, like, why'd you do that? What's going on? So it felt like a removal to us, but I'm sure if people who are transitioning from Canon to Sony, they probably won't even notice. So
I think they'll probably put it back in there.
Yeah, probably put it back. You think so? Wait, you talking about S-Log or Play Memories?
I'd say both. I think we'll probably get it back in there.
Yeah, I think if we scream loud enough, which we are, I think S-Log will come back. Hopefully. Okay, this is a selfish thing to say, but I hope they don't put S-Log in the A9 because that will force me to actually get it.
Dude, just wait.
You gotta have it, man.
I told you the A9S is here already. It's great, man. 6K. I mean, you're good. You're good.
Sully Cortez, death to the Play Memories app. David Gill agrees. I feel like the Play Memories app is so sluggish. I actually feel the same way. I don't know about you, Danny, but do you like the Play Memories app? Besides that, of course.
I can't really comment on it. So I am going to start testing out the Play Memories app for my shooting blogs. Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely going to check it out and maybe check in next week on that.
Yeah. So my huge issue with the Play Memories app is that when I'm trying to do any sort of remote shooting on my phone, it just doesn't let you shoot. You can't really adjust your settings, or you can't adjust your setting if you're shooting in S-Log, or you can't shoot in picture profiles, which is absolutely odd to me. It should just be able to transmit the image to my phone, and I can just hit the record button or change the shutter or change the ISO. It should just do that easily, but it doesn't do that, which kind of annoys me. But I think Panasonic does it the best with their app. I forgot what it's called, imaging app or something. But you can remotely control your GH4 or GH5 with your phone in any picture profile in any sort of setting. So I think Sony needs to improve the play memory apps for sure. Awesome. Let's see here. Anything else? Anything people have to say about the play memories? Sully, I hate how you lose so much functionality when shooting in video. Yep. And Sully just uses just for the hack as well. 3 Trees Photography is also not very happy. They charge $4,500 to remove things from the 8.9. Sully wishes that the time hack wasn't through the app.
I agree. You know, I got some weird misinformation, and I don't know if anybody clarified it or not, but I guess they were saying they were able to record 2 hours of video on the Sony A9, but I'm thinking they were talking about battery. So no one really said that there was a limit on there, did they?
That's true. Yeah, let us know in the comments if any press YouTubers have said anything like that. Whoops.
There was only one comment. I think it was from Jordan. He mentioned he was able to record 2 hours or something, but I know he was talking about battery life. But
I remember that. Yeah, he did bring up something like that, but I wasn't sure either if it's the 30-minute thing. Let's see here. LJ CH4E. Whoa, too many chat here. 3 dots top of the chat. Pop out chat. Yep. I'm actually losing comments as I'm scrolling right now. But I need to have I need to not pop up the chat so I can see how many people are watching. Awesome. I guess that's pretty much it for the play memory set. Let's go ahead and jump back in to the news. Stills capabilities. Danny, what did you learn about this camera in terms of stills capability?
The 20 frames per second is great. We talked already about the whole silent shutter, the ability to shoot and not get that weird bending that I had issues with when shooting. Other than that, I mean, I personally, like I said, when we were talking about it in the pre-show, I don't really need the 20 frames per second. Mm-hmm. I mean, I could do with half, but it's great. I mean, we've kind of beaten the dead horse with the on the still side, I think.
Capability, yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. So, for just really quickly, then, like Tony and Chelsea, they said they really like using the A9 more so than the A7R2 now, just because of what it can do. But they did find the A7R2 to be a little bit better of a quality than the A9, which is not shocking at all. The A7R2 is like, resolution beast. So definitely it's a great portrait camera. I feel like it's always been like a sort of like a portrait camera / landscape camera, right, Danny?
The A7R2?
Yeah. So it wasn't really meant for sports. I mean, I don't know. You use it anyways.
Actually, in my shooting vlog, I did go, and the one I had done that's coming up, I did use the A7R2 to shoot sports, and I had to shoot. It basically has like 4 or 5 frames per second, and you can't motor drive. You have to time the shots. That's basically the A7R2, but it can do sports if you're not doing professional levels.
But for professional.
No. I don't think it's going to be what you want.
And speaking on the 5 frames per second and all that clearing stuff, Tony and Chelsea also says it takes 32 seconds to clear the buffer on the camera with the UHS-2 card, but only with the UHS-2 card, right?
Yeah, because the issue was when they initially talked about it, they said it took 2 minutes to unload all the files, but I think they probably just put the card in the wrong slot. I don't know. That's what I think happened personally, but who knows? Right. We won't know until we actually get to test it out, but I don't see myself personally holding the shutter down for 20 seconds or whatever, how long it'll be. But I could definitely see the buffer filling up. But
cool. Would you get the new Sony UHS-2 card? That's like $209.
Dude, I'm still contemplating. I'm just looking at the price, and I'm like, man, I've already $4,500 already here, another $200, and then possibly the grip. Oh, jeez.
Cool. Way too much money.
Yeah.
And a memory card costing $200. That's the price of a lens. That's the price of a APS-C lens right there.
Yeah, but even the XQD stuff was pretty pricey, so
Yeah.
it's not too bad compared to that.
So let's change pace a little bit and talk about the video capabilities, which I'm so glad Max Urif and Jordan from TCS TV actually went to do this. You know, it definitely helps the video guys who are watching. And I really like what Jordan did. Like, instead of him shooting with Chris, he shot with Tony and Chelsea. So you kind of see two perspectives of things. You know, Tony and Chelsea with their photography, and him with his videography. So for the most part, Max says video tracking looks very accurate. I mean, like in his video, in his intro, I just saw him shooting handheld 202.8, these runners running towards him, and it did a fairly great job, like tracking them and like keeping them in focus, which I'm very surprised. And I'm thinking for like wedding videography or wedding photography, if you have the bride walking down the aisle, she ain't sprinting at you. So if you need to like fire 20 frames per second or like shoot a video of her walking down the aisle, you don't have to worry about the camera missing focus, which is pretty dope. Anything you want to add, Danny? In terms of video tracking?
No, I'm just, if the video tracking works as well as they're saying, that's going to be great. Yeah, that's all good stuff, man.
Yeah, I think the IBIS, from what it looks like from Max's video, the IBIS works really well. He was hand holding a lot of lenses, and it looks fairly stable, at least to me. The slow-mo in like 120 frames per second, it's looking really sharp. Sharper than the 1080 footage, 120 frames per second footage that I would get. But I think because they're using like really quality glass, so that definitely might have helped. And I think Max confirmed that when he's shooting 4K, there is no screen dimming. I think that was a huge issue with the 6500. I don't think that was an issue with the A7R2 and A7S2, right? Screen dimming in 4K.
No, it dimmed on every camera usually.
Oh shoot!
It is an issue, I believe. It, because I've always gotten that question. They always ask, does your screen dim? Does your screen dim?
Okay,
yeah. 4K. So that's a positive thing that they're doing.
I know A6500 it dimmed like a lot, so I definitely didn't like that. But for the A7R, I didn't really notice, but I do notice when I shoot 4K video, you can't control your monitor brightness, which is a huge bummer. Yeah. So Jordan, in his video, he said, since there's no picture profile, it's really hard for him to, since there's no picture profile, there's no dynamic range. He has no control over the dynamic range. So whenever he's shooting a place with high contrast, like the highlights are always blown out. So I think, we're just hoping Sony would put back the picture profiles, because we want to take advantage of the dynamic range that these cameras are capable of. Both of them said rolling shutter is not bad. It's still there, but it's not bad. It ain't GH5 good, but way better than the 6500. I don't know why they always compare it with the 6500, because the 6500 and 6300, we know their rolling shutter is bad. But I think it's a little...
But they say the Super 35 mode's pretty good for that kind of camera, so...
Yeah. Well, actually, they said the Super 35 in both full frame and Super 35 mode for the A9 works really well, which is really good news.
That's good.
Danny, you know what they said? I don't know, Jordan, and I think it's Jordan. Jordan always says when he shoots with the A7R2, he prefers to shoot Super 35 mode because it just seems sharper and better than full frame. What's your take on that?
I completely agree.
You do?
I completely agree on that. Yeah. Well, here. It's like this, right? So if I'll ever shoot with the A7R2, if I know I'm going to keep my ISO really low, like 1 to 400, I'll shoot at full frame if I need the full frame look. But I'll jump to Super 35 if I want additional, better quality out of my video footage. So
that's very interesting, because maybe I need to get my eyes checked, but I honestly can't really tell a difference between shooting Super 35 mode or full frame in my A7R2. But I think for the most part, I always shoot full frame with my A7R2, but I only go Super 35 mode when I really want to maximize my reach on things. But I'll definitely take a look at it more. But for sure, 6500 Super 35, that thing is sharp as heck.
Yep, it is.
There's a positive to the A9. Both have reported that none of their cameras overheated while shooting videos and for long periods of time. So that sounds like a good thing.
Yeah, I think it probably has to do with the new battery that they have as well, and probably larger, something they've done with the actual body itself. But if they've resolved the overheating problem, especially just for shooting by the way, I'm not even talking about shooting 4K. I'm just talking about just shooting the camera. Just shooting the camera. I've had, like I've mentioned the past before, I've had my A7R2 shut down just shooting in a hot day.
Photos.
Just photos.
Wow.
It has shut down. I've had it on a tripod. I was doing team sport portraits, and I just had it out there in the blazing sun. I just wanted to see what happened, and camera just shut down. It overheated. So, yeah.
I think, like I said, it has never happened to me, but I wasn't shooting in such harsh condition. It's probably more hot where you're at than where I'm at.
Yeah, it's pretty warm here in the Central Valley, so it's getting hot. I think it'll be like 100 degrees tomorrow, so I might start doing some overheating tests with the Alpha 6500.
It just, I'm not ready for summer, dude. Really not ready. I don't like the heat at all. It just makes everything worse. Awesome. Let's see here. Let's jump into the chat really quick and see what people have to say about the A9. Let's see here. Sully says, yes, Jason, thank you. It should do everything you can normally, just like the Panasonic. So we're talking about the Play Memories app versus the imaging app from Panasonic. Panasonic versus Sony imaging app, or whatever it is. Let's see here. 3 Trees Photography said, I heard the A9 still has the banding. I think Max briefly touched up on it, but did you hear from anyone else about the banding, Danny?
All I noticed was a post on Sony Alpha Rumors, and I think people were commenting saying it's a bit more controlled, but I don't know. Like I said, well, when more units are out there and people can test it out, I think that's when we'll get a better picture.
Yeah, definitely. We gotta wait until Danny gets it, and then
I'll just be a guinea pig, I guess. So,
thank you, Danny, taking one for the team.
Oh shoot,
taking that $4,500 hit right there.
Oh darn it!
By the way, guys, if you guys can do us a huge favor, if you haven't liked the video yet, if you just joined the chat, give us a like. Thank you so much. We're at 64 viewers right now. Awesome stuff. Let's see here. 3 Trees Photography. What's wrong with the A99 that no one is talking about? It's like 11 frames per second at 42 megapixels. We don't.
That's the problem. That's the problem. It's A mount. I'm sorry, but
it's A mount. Yeah.
It's just, well, I never came from the A mount system. That's the problem, right? I think if you had come from the A mount, the A99 2 would be really great. I just didn't come from that area, so.
Yeah, I'm 3 Trees Photography. Me and Danny are always apologizing to the A mount users because we don't use it. We can't really chime in. Can't really talk about it.
It's unfortunate. I mean, if Sony, hey, you want to send stuff to me and Jason, we'll evaluate it. I have no problem whatsoever.
Send it to Danny, man, because I probably wouldn't give the A99 a fair comparison.
Yeah, just send it to either of us. I think we'll think of something
for sure. Sully Cortez, $209 for a UHS 2 card. WTF, LOL. Danny, I am the Brown says that one camera guy still has your old gear.
I'm considering it. I mean, I have some old equipment that my Sony gear. We'll see.
Danny's gonna have a virtual yard sale where he's just like he's gonna go live. He's gonna have all his gear laid out on the table, and he's just gonna start picking up lenses. $25, $25, $50. I heard $50 somewhere in the chat. $100.
Oh man, that'd be pretty funny.
Open yard sale, dude.
But I'm on the verge of having to sell the Mark IV and the 1DC. We'll see.
Man. Times are tough.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Probably in the summer. By the summer, my 5D Mark IV is probably going to be gone. So we'll see what happens, for sure.
Support us, man. Support me and Danny so Danny can keep his 5D Mark IV. This poor guy is losing out his 5D Mark IV to the Sony A9, man. Sony A9 is a home wrecker.
It is.
Sully Cortez is a video guy. Sully, you're a hybrid shooter, aren't you? Gilberto, hey guys, just joining the show. Welcome.
What's going on, Gilberto? Welcome back. That
Nice.
profile picture, it's just like it's iconic. I just remember that profile picture.
Welcome to the show. Sully Cortez, screen dimming only dims when you adjust the screen brightness. I leave it alone. Yeah, I usually don't like to amp my monitor brightness on my A7R2 for photos, just because it just kind of oversaturates the preview and it kind of throws me off. So that's something that I don't want to have to deal with. But I only crank it up when I need to show the client the photo. Let's see here. Anything else? Max Europe is in the house. Oh,
whoa! Max is in the house. What the heck?
I think we said his name enough earlier that Max popped. And this is some Bloody Mary stuff right now, man.
Oh snap! It's Max.
Max is in the house. Welcome, Max. We're just talking about you. How'd be cool. You can join us for one of these shows.
We were just having trouble with your last name. We were talking about it as far as the pronunciation.
We were your last name, but hey, great job on the review. We were just talking about a lot of stuff that we learned from your video as well as Jordan from TCS TV. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, dude, awesome work, man. Awesome stuff.
Thank you so much, Steve. Max in the house. Heck yeah! Awesome, cool. Let's go ahead and move on back to the rest of the news. I think Max Springer stole the show now. No one's going to pay attention to us.
I know exactly. It's we're not important anymore. But
yeah, we're whatever. Danny and I will have our own conversation. The chat can have their conversation with Max. Just kidding. We'd love to have you, Max. Thanks for joining in.
Thank you.
NAB, we're going to talk about some other NAB stuff, and you guys are more than welcome to chime in and let us know what piece of gear that you're excited about from NAB. So, Danny wanted me to talk about this, which is the Zhiyun Crane, and I don't know, Danny, what do you want me to talk about, man?
Oh, I think it was just that you're mentioning that they have a new model. I think we brought it up in the last live show that they have a model that's for a cell phone.
Yeah.
Was that just brand new, recently announced at NAB, or they've had it for a while?
So Smooth Q was announced, I think, almost like 2 months ago. So I think officially they started selling like the end of April. But they had the thing for demo at NAB, which was pretty cool. So I got to play with it, and it was smooth.
I think if anything, I'm gonna probably pick that up. As far as like a vlogging tool, we'll see what happens. So I'm very interested about that one.
Yeah. So I just hit them up, like literally I just shot an email to them, and I was like, hey, be cool if you can send me one. But either way, I mean, like, it's $140, which is not bad at all. It's actually a really great price. It actually, in my opinion, isn't it like half the price of like the DJI Osmo Mobile?
I believe so. I think, yeah.
Yeah, for what it can do, I mean, you can even like bounce, you can even like stabilize your phone in portrait mode, which is pretty insane. So it's a really good gimbal. You're getting a lot more features than you would on the DJI Osmo. Plus, it has a quarter-inch thread on the bottom, so you can actually mount it onto a tripod or something. So,
and they say that you can charge your camera too. I mean, your phone as well.
Right. So it has like about, dude, don't quote me on it. I don't really remember it, but either 12 or 20 hours of battery life. But you can use some of that power to charge your phone, which is cool. So, really good stuff. What color would you get, Danny?
There's different colors.
There's 4 different colors. They're all an iPhone color. So pink, black, space gray. I forgot what the other one.
Wait, so it doesn't work on Android? It's got to be an iPhone?
No. It works on Android. Obviously, it's just like your color. You just might have to get the black.
I guess I'll go with space gray or something like that, or black. An LG G4, man. I'm still rocking an LG G4.
Cool. Awesome stuff. Just really quickly, I think we brought this up in the chat, but Zhiyun also very subtly, like dropped a version 2 of their Zhiyun Crane. I don't think they even like publicly talked about it, but very subtle. I think the only difference is, there's a few differences, but the biggest visible difference with the new Zhiyun Crane is that the version 2 has a new joystick. So the interface for the joystick is actually much more cleaner. It looks good. It feels good, better than the one that I was using for my older version. Plus, payload, increase in payload. So there's a new weight limit now. I think I mentioned this earlier, but you can balance the 5D Mark IV with a 24 to 70 on the June crane now. So that's pretty cool.
No, that's awesome. I think I saw a reviewer that had the actual updated one, and they said even the battery improved. Man, I don't know a whole lot about it, but they said before they would give you 2 sets of batteries, like 4 batteries total, but now they just use 2 and has the same capacity as the original. So
cool.
That's always a good thing.
Awesome. So I think some people already started talking about it in the chat. So instead of going on a quick break, let's just talk about it. People are excited about the new Small HD Focus. Danny, I know you were too.
Yeah, you are. I mean, I don't know if I'll have a potential use for it for what I do personally, but I thought the technology looked good. I thought it was really smart where you kind of attach it right on top of your hot shoe. And I was like, the first thing that went through my mind is, how do I mount the microphone? And they thought they had like another adapter right on there so you could mount your microphone. I was like, man, these guys thought of everything.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem with the Sony cameras. You just can't see out in the sun.
Yeah. So I got a chance to go look at it. I didn't get to talk to any rep. I think they're tired. They had their booth outside of the convention. So Small HD was outside of the convention while everybody was inside chilling with their AC. They were outside running their own booth. And they're like probably like one of the only ones aside from like broadcast trucks and all that stuff. I think the main reason why they were outside was because obviously they're advertising the small HD Focus where you can actually see in the bright sun. So that's part of their whole marketing campaign. So that's why they had their booth out there. And man, I don't know how they survived for like 4 days there, but I barely was out there for like 5 minutes and I was complaining about the heat. But anyways, enough about me. The Small HD, I checked it out in person for like 5 minutes. It was dope. You can definitely see in intense bright heat. Las Vegas is like a desert out there, so you can definitely see the screen. I think what's really cool about the thing is the L bracket that they have it mounted on. So normally the monitors that you guys are very used to, they have the 1/4 inch thread on top and at the bottom, so you have to screw it in. But they have it on the side with the L bracket, so you can actually rotate the screen, which is pretty cool. And that's what's actually enticing me to want to get it, because if you guys remember my small rig where I had the 6500 and the Atomos Ninja 2, if I want to switch it back to seeing it as a shooter, I could. But if I want to switch it to selfie mode and put the monitor in the front, I have to literally twist the monitor off and then flip it around and then twist it back again, which is super annoying. But with the Small HD, you can just easily just flip it back and forth. So I think as somebody who vlogs, who are thinking about considering the Small HD Focus as a vlogging monitor, I think that is definitely the most viable option right now, just because you can flip it. You can flip it back here or here. I think that's the coolest.
Man, I didn't even know you could do that. That actually is now more interesting about that actual device. For like, for example, if you're got to record something, maybe you're doing interviews, or even if you're just kind of recording yourself in a small kind of environment. And like for me, I bring my laptop. I usually connect it through my game capture card. But now with that Small HD, you can pack it up, and then you can actually see yourself and frame your shots better and record. I don't know. I think I can get away without it, but I think it's a really good handy tool.
Yeah, it's super handy. I think, having a monitor like that for your 6500 or your A7 is definitely a good thing. I mean, it's $500, and I was actually asking Atomos if they would release something very similar, because you guys know I love the Atomos Ninja Flame. But I've always been like telling you guys that I want something like that, like the Flame, but in a 5-inch form factor. Unfortunately, the rep told me that a lot of people have been asking, but it's not something on their roadmap right now, which is a huge, huge bummer. But yeah, I think just for something light, I think you guys should really consider the Small HD Focus. I think for $500, it's a bit steep, but I think you guys will definitely appreciate it.
like you were saying about with the Tomos, I think if they honestly could just find a way to record the feed somehow straight into the small HD,
Mm.
that I'd buy it in a heartbeat
Yeah.
because I use the Atomos, the low end Atomos recorder to record the B-roll footage off of my Sony camera,
Same.
and it's really hard. I don't know about you guys, but have you ever seen my shooting vlogs or when I record and I try to show you the kind of the sports action of the things I shoot? When I'm outdoors, I can't even see what I'm shooting. I'm not even gonna lie. Like if I'm shooting something out there during the daytime, I don't know. It's really hard for me to tell what I'm shooting because the monitor is so dim. It sucks. And I would super bulky to record. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a pain.
Yeah. I was gonna add something to that, but they actually, I think they officially dropped the Ninja 2 from support. Like when I was there, the only thing that the lowest end Atomos that they were pretty much had on display was the blade. So the Ninja 2 was dropped. I brought my Ninja 2 for them to calibrate, and they're like, yeah, this is too outdated for us to calibrate, so you can't get the free calibration. And I was like, what? Which is a shame because I was telling you guys that I've been having issues with the color of the Atomos Ninja 2. Do you have that issue? Like there's a sort of like a coolish tint to your screen?
Yeah, there is. It's not accurate or I just use it to frame, and I don't even use it to like for color. I just use it to frame. That's all I really do use it for.
Let's jump back into the chat really quick. Alan Andrews, OMG, just saw Max's small HD focus video. Gotta have it. Yes, I can't wait for Max's review on it.
Max just posted a video?
Oh. Well, no, he posted it like almost like I think Friday on it.
Oh, the interview, right? The interview?
Yeah, the interview with in regards to the small HD. It's really cool. Let's see here. Sully Cortez, did they have a release date for the Focus monitor? Not yet, but I think you can pre-order it now. Don't quote me on that. Let's see here. Alan Andrews, you can power your Sony and the monitor off the monitor battery. I forgot to mention that. That is true. So if you have the Sony battery, not the Sony battery for your camera, but the giant brick Sony battery on the small HD, you can actually run a dummy battery into your Sony a6500 or a7R2 and power your camera that way. So good job, small HD. Dang, they really did think of everything.
Like that feature.
Yeah. Bouncy Kangaroos. Sony, you know what? Actually, Atomos has a dummy battery for your camera. So you can actually charge. Actually, is that true? No, I think you need like a separate attachment. Forget what I said. Bouncy Kangaroo. Sony needs flippy screen like Canon. Flips out to the side so I can use my Rode mic on top.
You know what? I'm going to make a prediction right now. I think Sony's going to release a camera that people are kind of like, like an 80D kind of style camera, 70D kind of style that has the flip out screen that you guys want. I think there's a clamor for it, but maybe they will, and people will just be quiet about it. I don't know. I'm hoping that then you wouldn't need that small HD monitor. If it's like an Alpha 6500 with that particular spec, but
we'll definitely see. I mean, like Sony's been doing a good job listening to people out there, hence the A9. but people still have beef with the camera. Max Europe, we have 2 small HD focus, loving them so far. We'll have a more detailed video on it soon. There you go. Max has the inside scoop right now.
Ooh.
Let's see here. Bouncy Kangaroo needs some touchscreen AMOLED. Yeah, wait, am I saying that right? AMOLED. Mm-hmm. AMOLED. AMOLED. Yeah, I haven't pronounced that acronym in a while. Maybe they can use some help from Samsung. I actually played with another monitor. I'm not sure if it's as good, but it's called Few World monitor. You guys might have heard about it, but it's a China brand little monitor. But I got to play with it. It's $250 for a 7-inch screen, I think, or like $150 for a 5-inch screen. It's incredibly, incredibly sharp. The interface looks very janky. I don't really like it, but for the most part, that screen is really sharp. And what they told me was they used like a iPhone 6. It's a very similar quality to the iPhone 6s screen. So I'm thinking that could be like a really good budget solution for people who don't want to pay $500 for the small HD, but still want some sort of monitor for their A6500. Super sharp screen. Let's see here. I just lost track of the chat. Alan Andrews, the weight of the Focus sells me as well. I use a Ninja Blade with batteries and it weighs the rig down. Indeed. I was having a bit of an issue with my Atomos Ninja 2 with my small rig with the 6500 and at NAB. I think by the last day I just took off the monitor. So I think having the Focus would definitely help with that setup that I had for NAB. Okay, very cool. Let's go ahead and jump back into the last piece of news. So Sony released, or not released, but they kind of showed off a new A7S, but not exactly the A7S III. It's more of an A7S2 version 2. I wouldn't even know if you can call that an A7S2. But Danny, can you enlighten our lovely viewers out there what it is?
I think this product was at first when you were mentioning this, I kind of had a panic attack. I thought, oh snap, there's an A7S2. I think you picked up the news from Cinema 5D. They were saying it was basically an A7S2 without a recording limit, and I was like, hey, we can get an A7S2 without recording limit. Just use the hack, right? But this is apparently a very specific type of camera where you use it for maybe industrial use, security use. Yeah. It's not like an actual camera. It's just a box. Mm-hmm. And I think Canon makes something similar. You attach a lens to it, and it just records all the time. You know, you can just, as long as the memory can record to it. So, but I think it's their second model. This is not the first one they've done. It's like their Model 2. I could be wrong.
Funny thing was, I think I might have not accidentally, but I actually saw that A7S version 2 or whatever you want to call it. But I was just like, oh, cool. Cause they kind of mount it into like a 360 rig. So mm-hmm. I didn't really pay attention to it too much. Cause I was like, I don't really do any 360 work. So it didn't really concern me. I didn't really check it out, but I guess that was the A7S2 version 2.
No, I still think it's cool that they're doing that with different applications. It makes sense. You know, if they have the tech for it and people need it, especially the low light capabilities.
Oh yeah. That'd be some crazy stuff. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for the news. We're gonna go ahead and do a live Q&A. So all you guys have the burning questions from earlier, go ahead and repost them now, and me and Danny will pick it apart. Danny, what do you say? 15 minutes on this?
That sounds really good. Yeah, just definitely drop the questions, add a question mark on it at the end.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll hammer them out.
All right, so we'll just go ahead and
unless we want to give them a chance to start posting questions, or
go ahead. Yeah, take your time, guys. Post your questions right now. I'm just gonna go back to the chat really quick and see. Maybe somebody might have drop some questions. Oh, there you go. There's my man, Dave Sincere. Is it true Sony used to make sensors for Nikon and Canon? I think Nikon uses a Sony sensor, right?
From what I understand, yes, they do use Sony sensors, and I believe there is like a portable Canon camera, like the smaller Canon cameras, like a point and shoot, that do use a Sony sensor, but not their actual main bodies do. They don't. Not on Canon side.
All right. Max Europe. I asked Atomos and Aputure to make a 5-inch bright monitor around that price point. I've never expected Small HD to make one, and with all that software features plus that swivel. I think Atomos and Aputure. I think now that the Small HD has something out like that, I think they're gonna release something of their own, very similar. Cannot wait. I definitely like the Atomos interface and what it can do more than the small HD. I've used the small HD 702, and I really didn't like. Maybe because I didn't calibrate it right or something, but I didn't really like the colors that was coming out of the small HD. But that could be just a little bit of calibration issue on my end.
Okay.
Let's see here. LJ CH4E. The A9 is not that big of a camera. Yeah, so that's a lot of numbers to read. But pretty much, I held it in my hands. The A9 is actually slightly bigger than the A7R2. And to be honest with you guys, when I actually held it in my hand, I didn't feel like I was holding a different camera. I felt like I was holding my A7R2. So it's really not that big. Oh my gosh, this chat just keeps resetting itself. Let's see here. Okay, Wayne Freeman, 7200s, F4 or 2.8? Danny?
F2.8 G Master.
Yeah,
that's all. If that's all I had, if that's all the information I had, just go with the G Master.
If you have more information for us, Wayne, let us know. But I think for portrait work, F4 is pretty good. I've seen. I mean, my buddy of mine has the F4. It's pretty solid. But I personally, me and Danny use the 2.8. We like it a lot.
Yeah, Wayne, I'm crazy. I have F4 and the 2.8, and
Wait, do you? What the heck?
Yeah, dude. There's just stuff I gotta sell. That's why I'm the Brown that said that. He was like, have a yard sale or something.
Yeah, you need to have a yard sale, man. Virtual yard sale. Sell that 72. You will autograph 7200 F4.
I think it's because my vision. I was planning on doing like a video where I was comparing the zoom lenses, and I just haven't got around to doing that test. So, 7200 F4.
Nice.
So sad.
Leska. Any idea when we can expect an A7R2 update? Maybe June. Keep your eyes peeled for June. Dave Sincere, do you guys ever use colored gels for your flashes? Danny?
I don't. Not typically, no.
No, I don't think. I mean, I kind of want to get into that sort of like kind of look and play with gels, but haven't gotten a chance to. Peyton, best first prime lens for the 6500 besides the 50 millimeter. My pick is the 24 1.8 Zeiss for the 6500. Great prime lens. Danny?
6500 besides the 50 millimeter. Man, that's tough. I have no idea what you're using. Let's just say 85. 85 1.8.
85 1.8. Bouncy Kangaroo agrees with me. 24 1.8. That's the best one. Nick Minderman says 85 millimeter. Let's see here. Bouncy Kangaroo says that's my only prime. I think David Osler also champions the 24 1.8. He likes that one a lot. We are doing live Q&A right now, just in case you're just joining in. So go ahead and get your questions ready. If you haven't given us a thumbs up yet in the video, greatly appreciate it if you guys did.
Yay.
Thank you guys so much. Let's see here. Nick Winderman, I have both the 35-1.4 and the 85-1.4. I love it. That's the perfect combo right there.
Yeah, especially if with full frame, that's a really great combo. I like that.
Sean Crossan, what lens do you suggest for using with the A7S II on a gimbal? So I personally use the 18mm Batis from Zeiss. My buddy uses the 24mm f2 Batis, also from Zeiss. But I've seen other people use 16-35 or 10-18 for their gimbals, so it's up to you. I honestly love my 18 Batis. It's so sharp, and the autofocus works great. But not on the A7S II, though, because A7S II uses a different AF system. But yeah, 18mm or 25. Can't go wrong with those. Danny, would you like to chime in? Or
I really don't have a good comment because I don't use a gimbal much at all. So that's all on you. So
all right.
Yeah, I was gonna say something like the 16-35 f4. So
any wide angle lens, but to be honest with you, I think in my experience, the 16-35 just seems very clunky with the gimbal. Unless your gimbal is like the Ronin M or something, but If you're flying it with like the Zhiyun crane or anything that's one-handed, go with the 18 millimeter Batis or the 25. Like the lighter it is and less front heavy it is, the better, in my opinion. LJ CH4E Sigma 30mm f1.4 and Sony 35 f1.8. Right now, its price dropped to $398 on Amazon, B&H, and Adorama. Rocking on 12mm, 24mm f1.8. Cool. There's a sale right, man. You guys want me to spend money or something? I literally just bought the MC11 adapter before this chat. Now I kind of want to pick up the 30mm 1.4.
Don't do it.
Danny, what's your opinion on the lens?
I was also eyeballing. It's funny because I was actually eyeballing that Sigma 30 f1.4. I totally.
No.
I don't.
Yeah. You don't want it? You're not going to get it?
No. I got the A9. I gotta buy a memory card. So
yeah. All right. I feel you. I want the Sigma 30mm f1.4 for video. Sorry, not video, but for photos. That actually looks pretty sweet, man. Okay, Ryan Kendall. Okay, sweet. Thanks for the info. Really appreciate it. No problem. Dang it, Sully. Why do you have to do this to us? Sigma 30mm, Sony 35mm, might have gone 30mm, or rocking on 35mm. Daddy. Save me here, man.
Sony 35, best
Sony.
compatibility, in my opinion. So that way things work well for you.
True that. Let's see. Dave Sincere, a friend of mine sent me an email today, and I was pretty stumped. She asked me what is the best first camera for her to buy. Ooh,
she already has one. It's your phone.
That's some Chase Jarvis philosophy right there.
I mean, I don't know if Sony's the right way to go as a first camera, but hey, if you want to do the research and everything, then
honestly, Dave, A6000. I mean, if we want to keep it within the Sony ecosystem, A6000. But if she's on a budget, the Canon Rebel lines, they're good. They're very good as well. So
yeah.
I think the important thing is like any of these cameras would just kind of get her started in photography or whatever she wants to do. So that's the important thing, just having something to get started with. But yeah, understandably, there's a large, overwhelming amount of choices. Maybe if your friend might want to consider the RX100 or any sort of point and shoot just to get started in photography would be good. But in terms of interchangeable lenses, A6000 or the Rebel line is a good one. Bouncy Kangaroo. Now that Sony started using the UHS-3 and some cameras now have larger buffers, do you think you can continuously shoot at 20 FPS until the card fills up? Personally, I don't think I would. I mean, I would just probably do it just for spray and pray purposes, but I think Danny already commented saying he won't be shooting 20 frames per second, even though he has the ability to. But Danny?
I don't really need the 20 frames per second, but for those specific high burst moments where you need it, yeah, it makes sense. Unless you mean the UHS-2 Bouncy Kangaroo, but I don't think you can continuously shoot at 20 frames per second. It's kind of confusing. Your buffer is going to fill up. Your camera's going to stop shooting. I know what the A6500, you can shoot up to about 200 raw files, I think, 200 raw shots, but then it's just going to take a while for it to write off to the card. So,
cool.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not answering the question right. Sorry, Bouncy Kangaroo. I'm really tired. It's been a long day, so.
Yeah, Danny, teaching all day.
I've been up since like 5 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So
hang in there, Danny. We got 5 more minutes, man. Hang in there.
Okay, all right.
Okay, hang in there. Dave Sincere, I followed up with a million questions, but more importantly, what was her budget? That's always a concern. Definitely.
$250, right? $250.
Okay. Max Europe is putting us on the spot. What gear item made the biggest noticeable difference in your images and video? Danny,
do I go first?
Yeah, please go first. I need to think.
For me, with regard to sports photography, is when I picked up the Sigma 120 to 300 f2.8. Definitely gave me some more professional looking images that I couldn't get before when I was shooting low light sports or high school sports. And then for video, actually with the A7R2 and using the Sigma 35F 1.4, that thing's magical. I don't know. There's something about that 35 1.4 that I just love about that look that it creates with the shallow depth of field. So those two lenses, I would say, as far as gear wise, big difference for me.
I think personally for me, it's the eye autofocus feature from the Sony. I think that's ultimately what I think when I was getting the A7R2, I was looking for a hybrid solution to video and photos. And then I was adapting lenses, which, yeah, it wasn't really working out for me until I started playing with native lenses. And I think I played with the 55-1.8 and used eye autofocus. I was like, holy crap, this eye is so sharper than anything that I've gone before. So it really kind of motivated me more. I would say, like, really just drove me into doing more photography and especially portrait work just because of the eye autofocus from the Sony cameras and the Zeiss 55-1.8. So those would be the gear that just showed me the most noticeable difference in what I was shooting prior. So, yep. Let's see here. Nick Minderman, Crane Gimbal, did you guys know they upgraded the weight? Yes, we did. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but yep, it has a larger payload now. Sully Cortez, is that 24-1.8 a Sony or Sigma lens? Full frame or APS-C? The 24-1.8 is Sony Zeiss lens, and it's for APS-C, which is unfortunate, but for something that compact at a 35mm full frame equivalent at 1.8, you can't beat it. I actually, because of that size, I prefer that more than I prefer the Sigma 18-35 because that thing is like huge.
Yeah, it's heavy. This thing is very, very heavy. Oh god. Yeah.
Pixo 2 photography. Will the A9 with Metabones need a firmware update to work, or do you think it'll work out of the box? Good question.
I'm going to say it's going to work, but not work properly.
I think it's, you know what, if it needs a firmware update, it probably would need to come from Metabones end, but Metabones has been really good with firmware updates, so you can really count on them to release something that would work well with the A9. Let's see here. David Osler chimed in, 10 to 18 millimeter works great on a gimbal with full frame. Let's see here.
Yeah, I've been using that, Dave. I've been using it with my A7R2. But not with the gimbal, obviously, but just in general, I've been trying it out. So I'm liking it.
I don't know if you answered this question already, Danny, but Dave said, I saw your latest video with the Sony extender. Did you lose a lot of light shooting with it?
That's why... Well, Dave, that's the only... I'm slurring my words already.
We're losing Danny, man. We're losing Danny, guys.
Oh, shoot. I shoot during the day with those. I don't expect to use them in the evening. So as far as losing light, you definitely will lose light with those extenders because my 7200 G Master goes to like f4 with the 1.4x, and it goes to 5.6 with the 2x extender. So yeah, you are going to lose light.
Cool. All right. Let's keep we're on. Yep. I'm dying here too. Max, great answer, guys. Keep up the good work. Max, you're awesome, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Max. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Huge inspiration. All right. I think let's just end this right here with the last question from LJ. That one camera guy is right. We need to keep voice for A9 S-Log and play memories. But what can we do? Reddit, Sony forum, email to Sony, more YouTube voice, smash in the back door of Sony's office. What should we do to make our voices heard? Sign a petition?
We just start crashing every Sony party that's out there.
Yeah, so definitely the tech reps out in these Sony events, they're always listening. So just go there and just be like, hey, what's that? You know, I actually feel bad for the tech reps because they probably get so many people walking up to them and just be like, why aren't you guys doing this? Why aren't you guys doing that?
Here's the thing. The worst thing you can do is not ask.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst they'll say is no. Bring it up. Just say, hey, can this happen? Can you put it back in there? I would use it. And, you know, just kind of compounding on what we've talked about before. We were talking about the video features in the Sony A9. I was kind of bummed a little bit because I do a lot of slow motion recording, and it would have been nice to actually, for me personally, it would have been nice to have the 4K at 60p. But I know for a fact they're probably going to drop it into a different model now. So, not in that regards. So, we'll see what happens.
Awesome. Yeah, but Sony's definitely listening. So, me, Danny, Max, all the other press YouTubers, we're always going to be your voices to connect to the Sony peeps. But I got to say, you know, at NAB, I talked to these tech reps. They're like one of the nicest. They're like the nicest people like ever. Like they're so cool. They're so chill. Answer any questions that we had. I mean, even we asked them the hard hitting questions too. What is the play memories? What the S slot? They're calm about it. You know, they took the time to really answer the question. So, yeah. But whenever there's a Sony event near your area, guys, you guys need to go because that's where you get to play with the cameras, get some free swag, some t-shirts. I don't even know why I suddenly started plugging in Sony's events, but good stuff. All right, guys. With that said, thanks for joining in the live today. Me and Danny really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next week on Danny's show.
All right. Guys, thanks again for joining us. Don't forget to like the video before you take off. And again, definitely appreciate everyone that's always here. And also our usual viewers. Definitely appreciate you guys all the time being here.
You guys know who you are. We love you guys. Yeah. Cool. See you guys next week.